welcome. We are here. It's your boy, the coach, and we are here for another weekly call in show. We're here to build traction. We're here to open the conversation, and this is my opportunity to hear from the chat, hear from the fans, hear from everybody involved. We've been working, we've been trying to push the program, trying to push the platform, and let's just face facts. Let's face facts. We are officially in the dead period. We're officially in the dead period, and there's there's news to talk about, but I don't want to be facetious and make it seem as though that it's important news to talk about. But I'll tell you this right now. I want to hear about perspectives on camp. I want to hear how people feel about what they've heard thus far. Can you not hear me? Hold on. What are we doing? Don't do this. Can you guys hear me talking into the chat? What in the hell? So you can't hear me in the chat right now. It's a little low. Hold on, we're gonna fix this literally right now. It's a little low. Is it higher now? Let me know about the audio now. Is the audio higher now? Is it better now? I can hear you fine. Trying to figure out why you guys can't hear me. Hold on, wait a minute. We're up here. All the volumes here are up. All the volumes here are up. I'm up all the way here. Trying to understand. Still low? How about now? Is it still low now? Let me get in here. Hold on, because we're not doing this today. We're about to fix this literally right now. Audio, chat, background noise reduction. How about now? Let me know if you can still hear me now talking into the chat. How is this low? Louder now? This is nuts. It's literally low. Hold on. We're about to do this right now. How is my volume low? All right, let's just take it all off. How about now? How is my volume now? I, I I don't understand why you guys are saying that I'm low, man. Like I have everything literally turned up, like closer to the mic. Pause. It's right at my mouth. I'm trying to figure out. There's people telling me my volume is fine. My volume is just lower than the intro music. Like I don't get this. But I'm just gonna keep pushing forward, bro. Like the link is in the chat. We're here to have a call-in show. I am right now. I'm giving you the best I can with the volume. Um, Everybody's telling me that it's like I'm good. I'm not good. I don't know what else to do, bro. Like honestly. But um, we go. I mean, if you guys can hear me, hopefully the channel is fine. But um, when I raise the volume, it's way louder than you. Slow. You sound good on my computer when I raise the volume. It's way louder than you. Okay, I got it. Blasting. Keep going, coach. You're plenty loud. Yeah, I don't get it, guys. Like I'm looking at the volumes right now. The entire interface is like maxed out as loud as it can go. Like I've turned off all the processing. So like if you guys cannot hear me and everything on the computer is turned up, everything on the audio mixer is turned up, everything on the site and the web interface is turned up, like I got to be honest with you. it may be some of you guys. I'm being real with you, bro. Like, I spent the bread on this. I put the money in on this. If you guys cannot hear me at this stage of the game, it may be your device, bro. But anyway, what I want to do is I wanted to move forward with the show, actually, and have callers, man. You guys to come in because what I wanted to do is, but if you pay attention to you, why does that matter? I don't get it. Yeah, like if the music comes in louder, all right. So look, we're just gonna keep moving. The show must go on. What I'd like for you guys to do, the link is in the chat. Guys, get into the chat. The link is in the bio, rather. Get in here, guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say, man. I want to hear about your thoughts on camp. Um, Also, with us signing Ricky Pearsall and what that means for Brandon Ayuk. The fact that he got paid guaranteed money with 12 million guaranteed over 4 years. What does that mean for how the Niners feel about him moving forward, being the 31st overall pick? Was it a stressful pick? I mean, was it a stressed out negotiation, or was this the Niners pretty much acquiescing to what they believe that they're not going to pay Brandon, and they're showing a good faith they're showing a good faith contract with Ricky Pearsall. I want to be able to talk about defensively, where are your concerns with us, and that goes from top to bottom, right? I want to talk about the depth. Are you happy with the depth across the entire defensive line? And depth on the interior linebacker at that Sam spot. Uh, are you happy with the depth and the experience at safety? For a while, we've always had that pace horse at safety. We had Gip, we had Jaquaski Tart, we had Jimmy Ward. Now, for the first time this season, it seems as though that we're kind of flying solo, right? We're flying solo with the safety within safety room. There's really no veterans back there. There's nobody that actually that can speak from experience. Uh, and Huff is coming back off of an injury, which is our most experienced safety that we have right now. How do you guys feel about what we're going to do on that in that aspect of our defense and coaching? Um, what is Nick Sorensen going to do? Right? How is Nick Sorensen going to what's his wrinkle going to be on the defense? Right? What's his iteration of how he sees this defense? And that's a good point that I wanted to bring up as well, is that on one hand, Nick Sorensen was like a player pick, right? He was a pick that was for the 49ers locker room. Nick Bosa and a lot of the guys really um, seem to love the pick because they want an interior guy. But that still doesn't mean that Coach Sorensen isn't going to have his version of how he's going to run this defense, right? When we look at simulated pressures or we look at blitzing on the defense, is this going to be basically, let me cut to the chase. Is this going to be a defense that's going to be coached by committee, or are we truly going to be able to place the performance and the lack of performance at the feet of Nick Sorensen? What does that mean? When we look at simulated pressures or we look at blitz packages and the frequency of those blitz packages last year, right? Nobody was looking at Coach Holland or Coach Kasarik on where those blitz packages were coming from, why we were calling the certain plays that we were on critical downs throughout the season. That entire onus and responsibility was placed squarely on Coach Wilks. Are we looking at a life where moving into the season, when we look at blitz packages or we're looking at simulated pressure and we're saying, man, we're not doing this during the season, or why didn't we utilize this aspect of our defense during this critical down or during this game? Is this going to be something where the Niners have now already put in culpable deniability, where they're saying, well, blitz packages is kind of a Brandon Staley thing, simulated pressures is kind of a Staley thing, you know, more along the lines of overall how the defense is going to be ran. That's more of a Nick Sorensen thing, right? Are we going to see that further into the season? Like how is Nick Sorensen's fingerprints going to be put onto this defense, and who's going to be where does the buck stop? Does it stop with Coach Staley? Right? Does it stop with does it stop with Coach Sorensen? You know? So there's a lot of questions about how the defense is going to traverse through the season, particularly through the coaching staff. Also, on another show, I said this and I wanted to be able to place it here. I was asked what was the weakest part of our team coming out of the Super Bowl. And I said it was our coaching staff. I feel like we got outcoached. Right? I need to what say you? As far as our coaching staff is concerned, you could look at us losing Jimmy Ward, or us losing DJ Jones, or us losing Aziz Al-Shair, or we could look at when we lost Mike McGlinchey. That's kind of funny, but when we lost Mike McGlinchey, we could look at all types of players that we lost to free agency, or they play some DeForest Buckner, right? And all of those players that we lost, you can see the holes. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Nothing hurts harder than losing a good coach. Have we truly replaced those holes, right? Of a Mike McDaniel, a D'Amico Ryans, right? A Robert Saleh, a Martin Mayhew, an Adam Peters, a Rand Carthon, right? I saw a lack of process during the Super Bowl. That has nothing to do with players. Lack of infrastructure, meaning that there wasn't any standard operating procedures on how to do certain things during that game. That's not on the players. That's coaching. An entire group of men not knowing a simple set of rules going into overtime. That's not on the players. That's coaching. That's coaching. So I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I'm looking for you guys to come in here. Usually we get some guys to come in here so we can get it going. But I just want to hear your thoughts. It's the dead period of the season, and there's not much to talk about, but there are points of reference on how the season's gonna bear out. There's points of reference, particularly on how we ended the Super Bowl, how we've picked up and acquired players throughout free agency. How do you guys feel about our free agency as a whole thus far? Right? Dang Dang says, yeah, Bosa signed off on this guy. You could tell he doesn't F with Staley. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I got my guy right here. I'll bring him up right quick. PDX.
How's it going, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Thank you. So I can hear you. Thank God. How have you been, man?
I'm good. Just relaxing, which is nice.
Good.
So, I mean, the coaching question it's so loaded, man. It's so loaded. Like, okay. Shanahan is like a Shakespearean tragedy. Like he is really good at what he does, but then he has like these fatal flaws that just doom him in the big moments. And I don't know. If there's one thing that I know about football and football ownership, it's that the teams that rotate coaches are never any good. I also know that there are coaches that just can't get it done, and I fear Shanahan's one of them. So, yeah, he got out coached in the Super Bowl, and I don't know. Something has to, people don't change for just on their own. It has to be spurred by something, but he needs to adjust what he's doing because that was,
Right.
the Super Bowl. The worst part about it is not necessarily that we lost; it's that we lost in such an embarrassing fashion.
Right.
Like it hurt. Yeah, that one was like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. Um, it's got to come from somewhere. You look at, I mean, I just named a couple of these things during the season. You look at getting away from the run game after Christian McCaffrey fumbles, right? You start looking at the protections that were baked in to to our 2 minute drill where we're pulling Jake Brindle to activate a hole from a play action on the goal line, right? And the reason why this type of stuff matters to me is because this is the exact energy that we had against Minnesota. Like we called out the zero blitz as a football blunder. Like you're not supposed to do that, right? Like how can you do this? This is almost malfeasance, almost to the point of where Kyle said flat out he knows what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows exactly what he did, almost as if like this is a no brainer. Anybody should be able to understand this. And from my perspective, I feel like you should be able to keep the same energy with the offense. For what it's worth, we held Patrick Mahomes to 22 points in regulation. You know what I mean? That's you're asking your defense if somebody told us, if you said, all right, we don't know who wins the game, but what we do know is that Patrick Mahomes is going to be held to 22 points and you're going to do it without Dre Greenlaw for about three and three quarters of a game. We'd take that.
I yeah, I would say we probably would have won that game and should
We'd
have won
take
that
that.
game.
Exactly. So in my opinion, we didn't run the ball nearly enough. Um, Us not prioritizing the offensive line just is an excuse in the Super Bowl. You made it there with them. You know what I mean? So you got to run the ball. Uh, and I feel as though that um, really the Ravens game. It started with the Browns game. I think the Browns game showed that if you have a five-man front against our offensive line, you individually expose everyone, right? If you keep a hat on a hat, all right, and play gap disciplined football, the best thing that you can do right now is stop the Niners on what their bread and butter is, which is the outside zone in the wide zone. I think you saw that in the very first game against Cleveland. They were intact, all right, and they had the dogs up front to do it, all right. So you fast forward to Baltimore, and Baltimore took it to a whole nother level where at this stage of the game, Brock is mature enough to air the ball out. So you can't mug up five in the box anymore because Brock is going to eat all day. He's too advanced. He's going to process. So what you have to do now is that you got to play with overhang with Kyle Hamilton. You got to play with that safety. You have to be able to have him cut off those backside angles, be able to get on front side, be disruptive on linebackers, I mean, on tackles. And you saw that happen with the Ravens. And ever since that happened in Baltimore, we struggled. You saw a rendition of it week in and week out. You saw it with the Commanders, you saw it with Green Bay, you saw it with Detroit. Everybody started using that mugged up box front with the overhang to make sure that they kept everything in front of them. And then you just saw it completely unleashed with Coach Spagnuolo with Kansas City, uh, with those corners, man, with McDuffie and Sneed. They did more than pass defend. They held down those edges, man. They were very instrumental in the run game. If you look back at that game, I think there's a play where I think Trent Williams tries to come out on Burton or Sneed on an outside zone play, and they throw him to the ground. Corner. throws him to the ground. So
Yeah, that
it,
shouldn't happen.
yeah, in my opinion, it's gonna be interesting to see what the coaching staff comes up with this year. Uh, and you know, we'll see. Is there anything you got for me that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously all the Brandon Ayuk stuff's in the news, and it's like, you know, I think we kind of missed the boat a little bit on it. So like his market value is what his market value is, but like his value, it's not just to the team. It's like when your cap number gets up to a certain level, it starts actively taking away from the team. I mean, that's the whole conversation about paying Brock Purdy, right? It's like you
Mm-hmm.
lose a player, and at like 26 million, I can start to be like, okay, like that's fine. It's not ideal, but it's workable. But when you start talking $30 million, that's I don't know. Like I don't know if any player is really worth that much. I don't think Nick Bosa is worth his contract that we paid him. It's an impossible standard to live up to. You have to be defensive player of the year every single year in order to make that money work.
Right. I mean, it's just not in the cards for what BA wants, in my opinion. It's just not in the cards. In the open market, maybe. Somewhere else on a team where he can get utilized, where that money makes sense. Sure. Just not here. And that's just the long and short of it. I'm the topic is exacerbated as far as I'm concerned. You know,
Yeah,
he wants his money. They're at 26 because obviously we have weapons, we have a system, and he's not going to be used at that clip. And for him to ask that, in certain ways, you could say that, yeah, he's justified to want his money, but in other ways, you could say that that's like undertone language for him. That's coded language for him to saying like, I don't care if you get rid of Debo, I want my
yeah,
30. Like it comes from somewhere, you know.
yeah.
So, but hey, man, I got Roger here and Jerome. I want to be able to get him, man. It was great talking to you, man. Listen, man, please keep supporting me, man. I see you in the chats all the time, bro. I love your
I'll,
support,
I'll
man.
be around, man. I'll be around.
I'll talk to you, brother.
All right, see you, man.
All right, Roger, you ready for me? Unmute yourself, Raj. You're
Oh,
muted.
all right. What's up, Coach?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I heard you this morning with Krug, and I just said, well, that's my specialty is calling in, and I don't know how much I got to add, but I just had a call. Um, Basically, the 49ers year is going to depend on the lines, how the offensive and defensive lines do. They've been fooling around. I'm not, you are way better than me. I don't have all that detail. I'm a Raider fan, so,
Okay.
low expectations. But they got a lot of new players on both lines that gonna have to see how that turns out, how the chemistry turns. And one more thing I'll say, the Super Bowl, they
Mm-hmm.
played four good quarters, but um, it didn't end in those four quarters, right? It ended in
Right.
overtime, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what bit them. I don't know. I would have done anything different myself. Probably have done the same thing, right? That's what I think, but shit, that's Patrick Mahomes,
How do you
right?
feel? How do you feel about the way the Niners performed offensively in the Super Bowl?
I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really have any critiques because he's a pretty good offensive coach. I mean,
He's a great
coach,
coach.
coach. You can't knock that. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't know the numbers off the top. I don't, and I really don't. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really remember how off the top how good they did. But I mean, like I said, at the end of the game, it looked pretty good. Like it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like I'm a Raider fan. That last Super Bowl the Raiders played in was terrible.
So let
You
me
know
ask you
what I mean?
this.
I didn't throw nobody out of the house, but they left on their own. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. What are Raiders fans today? We know the history, right? But right now, what are Raiders fans saying about the Niners?
Oh, y'all have a really good team. Like if I go to Reno once a year, and once a year I want to put $100 on the 49ers to win the Super. I haven't, but When I see the numbers, I'm like, I can win 1,000. I want to, but yeah, you have an elite team. Like
Mm-hmm.
only a couple of teams that top whatever 4 or 5 teams in the whole league.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts. But what you're fighting is a cap.
Yeah.
That's the only one's going to beat the 49ers with like Ayuk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're
So
fighting that cap. That's 100% the truth right now, and that's really what's kind of biting us right now is as we're moving forward, trying to keep this window open. We got people to pay, and we're trying our best to keep our youth. That's that's another aspect of signing Brandon Ayuk that really I feel like is going unmissed. He's pretty much the youngest of our core. He's the youngest guy that we have in the core, right? Outside of Brock, where he's got to prove himself to be a part of it. But if you look at Trent Williams, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Javarius Ward, Javon Hargraves, Nick Bosa, I mean, that's pretty much the core of the Niners. And BA is 24 years old, 25. Like he's the youngest guy that we're trying to keep. And I just and for us, we're damn near the oldest team in the league right now. So for me, I, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do to stay young because these guys don't stay the same. They're either getting better or they're getting worse.
wait, I got a question for you.
What's up?
I'm a little bit old school. Whatever happened to play out your contract? Whatever,
Oh,
play out your contract.
that's unheard of. That's unheard of.
Thanks for
That's
having me
unheard of.
out, Coach. I
Hey man,
appreciate you.
great talk to you, man. We'll talk, man.
All right,
You ready for me,
later.
Jerome? Unmute yourself, bro. You muted, Jerome.
Yeah, yo, that's because you muted me.
Yeah, I know, because I can hear you in the back, in the stage, in the background.
Yo, my bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, 128 Infantry Black Lines, yo, 23-year veteran.
Okay.
But yeah, yo, honestly, Roger took almost everything that I wanted to sit there and say.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Rock. Go ahead.
But all right, so look, I hate that we got rid of Eric Armstead. Like Eric, when he first got here, he was like, ooh, I was so disappointed. But when I learned out how to become a student of the game,
Right.
like an active student of the game, yo, he was so integral in what we did as a run stuffing defense. Because honestly, the Niners are all about defense.
Mm-hmm.
And then Steve Wilks came in and just kind of, uh,
Give me your real
yeah, I
thoughts,
was
man.
not a
You
fan of
got the
Steve
floor.
Wilks. Yeah, I was not a fan of Steve Wilks.
What are your thoughts? What specifically?
Yeah, look, yo, we were like initially we were like we could do a four-man rush and get to the quarterback.
Right.
So that allowed our linebackers to either attack or kind of step back, and that also gave our corners and safeties time to do what they do. Like when I played, I was a safety and I was a corner,
Right.
so I know what that time means.
Okay.
But Steve Wilkes, his style of defensive coaching, I can understand why they got rid of him after a year.
Okay. So you
But
so you understand that a first time defensive coordinator with this team that took them to the Super Bowl, you can understand. For me, there's one reason and one reason only why I believe that he should be able to why it was okay to move on from Steve Wilkes. And it's because he lost the locker room, flat out.
yes,
We can get
yes,
into plays, we can get into effort, we can get into uh him not marrying the front end with the back end. All of that is cute. But the facts are is that the number one thing that you got to have when you're coaching is trust. And if the guys don't trust you and they don't trust your word and your voice has grown stale, then you might as well not even be in the room because you got to get them to do what you ask them to do on the field. And if they're not doing that, then coaching them up is just basically a moot point. So I agree
Yeah.
with that, right? I mean, if the boys ain't listening, what am I here for? So
Well,
I agree
yeah.
with that.
Well, yeah, and like, yo, that's my point, yo. Number one, yo, you're the coach, so well, yeah, all right. So like, I know coaching, and if you can't, matter of fact, all right, hold on, yo, let me back this up for a second. I know coaching and I know leadership.
Hmm.
I retired as a staff sergeant in the military, so I know leadership.
Okay.
And yeah, if you can't sit there and get your people to follow you, then yeah, yo, what are you there for?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why Steve Wilks is out of here. But I don't know what they're gonna do. You can't have two leaders. You can't have Sorensen and and the other guy. Yo, who's the
Staley.
leader?
Yeah.
Who's the leader?
That's basically the question that I'm asking because right now it's set up that Nick Sorensen is the defensive coordinator of the team. But I just want to be able to. I have a feeling that that's going to be a moving target if stuff starts going awry on defense, and it's going to be a Brandon Staley thing. I believe really that they're coaching by committee for as far as defensive coordinator is concerned. I
You
really
can't
believe
do
that.
that. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's what I believe. I believe that they're coaching by committee.
No, you
So
can't do that. And now we can sit there and back that up to why is Kyle allowing that to happen? Like we have, well, like what we had, a top three defense,
mhm.
and Kyle as the head coach, you're allowing a coaching by committee on a top three defense that's going to falter. Dude, that's like okay. For comparison, from what I can relate to, that's like having a platoon attack a hill with two leaders going in two different kind of directions.
Mhm.
You're all gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, simply put, I mean, my from my perspective, uh, I feel like the players and the level of professionalism that the boys have shown throughout the years has kept this window open.
Yes,
But um, I feel like what's jarring about this year is we started seeing we started seeing issues on the field like effort, like
we're starting to
not.
see cracks.
Yeah, we're starting to see cracks. And that it's simply put, and that's perfectly put. We're starting to see cracks. And before it was being covered up by just an abundance of talent and depth, you know? But the way we lost that game is lack of process and lack of effort in some aspects. And, uh, they got a lot to answer for, but I'm hopeful for them because I feel like at this stage of the game, either you gonna meet your maker or you gonna handle your business, man. Like either you're gonna get it done or everybody's just gonna go for broke, get their money, and split this whole thing up. Because that's the possibility that this could have. Like people could just start going for broke like mid-season. Like we're not winning. I'm ready to finish out the season. So the season comes at you fast, man. But
And then after that, and after that, well, actually, honestly, after that, what people are going to sit down and start doing is if we don't start winning immediately, what's going to happen is people are going to start playing for paychecks. Like
well,
meaning
they play
that
for paychecks
what?
now.
Well, true, but like what I mean by that is you're not going to play hard because you don't want to get hurt because you know
Right.
that you're not going to be there next season.
Right.
And that's once again, I played football. Once again, if you don't play hard, you get hurt.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like I said, that's it. So, matter of fact, I wrote you a comment. I need you to get in contact with me,
Okay.
because me and my boy, who honestly looks just like you, we're gonna sit there and start our own podcast, and I need help to learn on how to get started.
sfbangbang49@gmail.com.
Hold on.
It's the email in my about of my channel. It's the channel's email.
SSF.
No, SF,
Oh,
right? Sierra Foxtrot Bravo Alpha
go ahead.
Bang 49 at gmail.com. sfbangbang49 at gmail.com.
And you know what? I'm impressed that you know the military phonetic alphabet. I'm impressed.
You are- You're welcome, bro. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, man. I'll let you go on, and let you have your next guy
I'll
and
talk
shit
to
though.
you,
But
brother.
all right, dog.
All right, man. Hey, you ready for me, mama's boy? What up? What's good, bro? How are you?
What's up, man?
Good, man. What's going on?
Same old. I was making sure you could hear me. I thought I was muted.
What you got for me, man?
No, just like I said, just well ready for I guess training camp to start.
Right.
Just been watching all the news going on still with the Aiyuk, and like I said, I kept saying last time I talked to you, I was like I want him to get paid. I want him to stay on the team, which I still want him to stay on the team. But like you said, we getting into that
Right.
gray area now where it's like when I saw last night he had went live, I didn't even look at it because I was just like I think the deal is there, the offer's on the table, and I don't know, you know, where that's standing, but I kind of want the team we're gonna have to be there when training camp starts.
Right.
Yeah. How you
Well,
doing today,
definitely.
Coach?
I'm doing good, man. I mean, right now, uh, I'm just trying to see what you guys are talking about with the season, man. How do you feel about Ricky Persal's deal?
Yeah, well, I know everything's slotted now with those deals.
Right.
Was fully guaranteed or
Yeah, it was fully guaranteed.
yeah, so I think that always is now like the only hold up with these guys signing is like they want, fully guaranteed money.
Right.
Um, and I see that him and Debo gonna be working out together. I did see that.
What do you think about that? So, how about this?
Mhm.
Is this is this a situation where Debo is putting this guy under like where's the connection, right?
Mhm.
Like where did this happen? Do you
Right.
feel like this is an organic relationship, or you feel like this is a keep your friends close but your enemies closer situation?
Yeah, I'm kind of like you said, it's kind of like when I saw that, I was like, well, I know if it just seems like Debo, like he does he's kind of like a loner in the offseason. Seem like works out on his
Right.
own, but with him and Ricky, I guess when they first met, at the OTAs and everything, and
Mm-hmm.
I knew Ricky and Brock. They talk about they probably work out because they have had a relationship kind of going back to the Arizona days, from where they're from. But yeah, it's kind of like
Right.
I just I know him. I know Debo and BA are tight, and I know he
Right.
wants them to get. And like you say, it's kind of it almost seems so much like that situation when Debo was holding out, and it's like now it's like he probably look at that and say, was I looking like this? But it's like, and maybe he trying to take Ricky under his wing a little bit, and but really Ricky probably is a better route runner than Debo already. What I'm saying? Like,
Right.
what I mean? Debo is, I like Debo. Don't get me wrong, but Debo, game is just like just give him the ball. Rick is gonna be more. I think he got that technician and he got some athleticism with him. So it's like I guess he just like whatever he can. Maybe they can learn some off each other. For the team.
Right.
I hope it's a good thing. So
Yeah. I mean, look, I feel like it's time for us to uh start looking at Debo as a leader. I think this is welcomed news. I mean, he's
mhm,
coming in at 28 per this year,
mhm,
and he's a leader. He's got the C on
mhm,
his chest. He's got to
mhm.
be able to get somebody. He's got to be able to get somebody. Uh, Somebody's got to be able to eat off of what Debo brings us, right? Deandre
Yeah.
Lenore cut his teeth and cut his
Mhm,
teeth on Brandon Ayuk, right?
mhm,
He was able to get better and and perform and to be able to do the best he could to climb the ladder of a mentor uh,
mhm.
with Brandon Ayuk. I
Yeah.
like this for Debo because we finally get a chance to see somebody else kind of eat off Debo's plate. My thing
Mhm.
is that this is the operative question, and I want to hear this in the chat as well. What is Ricky Pearsall? What is Ricky Pearsall learning from Debo Samuel?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying as far as
That's a real question.
that's a real question. That's a real question because I think the off season, the first thing you hear talked about is what kind of shape is Debo in, and this year
Mm-hmm.
you were hearing people saying he looks good. He looks, he looked like he's ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think like you said, it could be a good thing. I had a question. I was thinking about if Debo really wants to chase that ring, if it's not about the bag, what if John Lynch, Parad went to him and said, "We're gonna turn part of your salary into a signing bonus so we can sign BA." Or
Nah.
do you
No.
think? Yeah, that's what I said. Do you think? Yeah, how bad do they want? Because I was looking at Demo. Demo is a player I want them to resign. I think he's one of the best corners he's
So
developed.
between Demo and Mooney Ward, who do you want to sign?
God, man, that's. I mean, Mooney had one of his best years. Demo had his best. He on the rise. I mean, Mooney might get even better. I mean, he's like, I don't know if I could pick, man. It's like, I know we got Renardo in the draft. You got Isaac Yadam. We got some depth there now. I would like to see both of them stay, but I know that's not, business wise. Tavares probably up for a big deal, and Demo might come in a little, under that. But I like Demo's like I don't know. It's just like he's such a dog, and I mean
You
it's
him and Han, bruh. Who you
yeah.
want? Mooney Ward or Demo? Who you
Uh,
want?
me Demo,
All right.
me
You
Demo.
take Demo. I'm taking Mooney Ward.
Yeah,
I'd take Mooney Ward over Demo if it came down to paying him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at. Yeah.
Hey, bruh, I'm gonna go ahead and get Roscoe's in here, man. Mama's boy, hit me up anytime we have a call-in show, man. I need you up here, bruh. I
Yes,
love the
sir. Yeah.
support, man. Anytime, man. Hit me up in the comments. You know I'm always hit you back, bro.
All right. Keep doing your thing, Coach. Great show.
All right, brother. Talk to you
All right.
later.
Be good. All right.
All right. I ain't gonna have no Blake screen up here, man. Roscoe, unmute yourself, dog. Unmute yourself, Roscoe. Ross, I don't even think he knows that I called him up. I think what he did was he walked away.
I think what he did was he walked away.
No,
Yo,
no, no, no.
turn
I was
turn me down,
trying.
Yo,
To,
bruh.
turn me down, bro.
is it super loud?
There's an
How's
echo
that?
coming
Is it
from
better?
the show.
There's an
Turn the show
echo
down.
coming
Yeah,
from the show. Turn the show down. Yeah,
Okay, how's that?
turn the show down.
much better. No, I
No,
still
I'm.
can't
Much
hear
better.
myself.
No, I
Okay,
still can hear myself.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me call back in. I don't know. That's weird. I don't know why it's doing that.
All right, bro.
All right, bro.
All right, but it's echo from the show. Are you calling in? So Roscoe's just moved, took himself off the show. He's got to put headphones on. Exactly. He's trying to talk to me and have the show on at the same time. Not yeah. So the background, real quick, guys. This is me and my little brother Jeremiah. This is me on in the white jersey. I'm in the home jersey. Jeremiah's in the away jersey. And this is our Boys and Girls Club that we played for back in the day, Lanham Boys and Girls Club. We get it down in the trenches, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been rocking with the trenches since day one. You know what I'm saying? So we trench daddies. Hey, are you ready for me, Roscoe? I'm gonna add you to the scene. Roscoe,
Is it better now?
I don't hear myself. We good to go, bro. What's up?
Ah, nothing much. And
I
and
know
uh,
you
and
ready. I know. Let's do it. I know what you come up here, bro. You come up here for smoke, bro.
no, no,
Let's
no. I
go.
just I just came in and then it said call in and I was like, oh, I'd be trying to get Jesse to do more call in shows, but you got a
Mm-hmm.
call in show and I know you like you could talk. So listen, I'm just gonna kind of go off of what the other dude, which you was talking to with the other guy.
Okay.
So one,
Let's go.
I'm choosing, and it is a very tough question, but it is a tough business. And let me say this: I think the Niners can keep both Mooney and Demo, but if I had to choose, I'm gonna go with the more versatile player. Now, you know this, Coach. More times than not, versatility wins in the NFL. And having somebody like Demo that can play the inside and the outside, literally had to save our season plan on the inside because Oliver was buns is huge. It's huge for the Niners, and he's getting better year by year. So if I had to choose, I personally would choose Demo, but don't get it twisted because I don't know if I argued with you, but I did disagree when you said you didn't feel like Mooney was a lock down corner. But in reality, there's no real lockdown corners in the league today.
Mm-hmm. Look, I'll put it like this, bro. While while we're sitting here looking at Demo's progression, and it's amazing. It has been. We've been able to watch him grow. I feel like the real jump was from last year to this year. He came in remarkably in shape, and all of that looks good. And I commend Demo for being able to become not only a starter in this league, but a viable weapon on our team, and being able to be moved from the outside into nickel when we needed him there, and to excel at that position. All of that is great. But on the backdrop of all of that happening, Roscoe, Demo had none of the responsibility as what Mooney Ward was doing all year, which is guarding the best receiver on the field at all times.
That's
All
fair.
right. Even traveling. Okay. One thing that I feel that we've been afforded the space to really care about Demo's maturation process, because quite frankly, good corners don't get any type of press. Good corners are supposed to be forgotten. Good corners are like good guards. Good corners are like good tackles. If you hear about them during the game, something's wrong. Okay. So for me, the number one thing that turned over that Eagles game when we went into Philly, it was Diamador Lenore finally locking up on AJ Brown. That's something that goes on. That's something that goes unlooked, right? So I'll tell you this right now: Mooney Ward, if you look at all of the guys that we've had before, right? Look at how long we've been doing like the number one corner roulette, right? We tried it with Sherm, didn't work. We tried it
Whoa,
with
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Jason.
whoa, 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 whoa! I'm not gonna. Oh, listen. In the
I want to
sense,
hear this.
wait. In this, okay, I'm gonna say it worked with Sherm because the man had an All-Pro season, and you can't ignore that. And it wasn't because he was super locking down number one receivers. It was quarterbacks still were afraid to test him, and then they started throwing it to Keeler Witherspoon way, anyways. But that All Pro season in 2019 was very good, and mostly because teams didn't want to try him. So I will say, in my opinion, it did work. So I'm just gonna say that because All Pro is All Pro, bro. And second team All Pro. Listen, for somebody his age, that's pretty good.
All right, all right. I'm just saying. My opinion is that
But 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 but
Demo is a
I'm sorry to.
burgeoning star, right? He's a burgeoning star, but I'm gonna just tell you this right now. We haven't had a number one corner give us the consistency that Mooney Ward has given us for
I agree.
a
That's why
while. We
I was
haven't
confused
seen
when you
that.
said. That's why I was confused when you said he wasn't. You didn't feel like he was a lockdown corner.
I didn't. I said I don't feel like he's like top five, like top three.
No, he's not top three. No, he's not top three. But I agree. He is very consistent. He is. I mean,
He's
he
top.
is.
He's top
He's as
one
good
for
as it
us.
gets. He's as good as it gets. I trust me.
Yeah.
I Moody. Like I said, if I had to choose, I mean, you're like, I would pick both. Right? I would bring both back. If the Niners are able to bring both back, I would bring both back. But if you're
Right.
making me choose, right? Because you made the dude
Yeah. I
choose.
want you to choose.
I would choose the versatility.
Hmm, the
But
versatility.
I'm gonna let you get to other people. But
I
thank you for letting
understand.
me call
I mean,
in.
I feel you. We could choose the versatility. All I'm
No,
saying
no,
is that
but you're not wrong, though. You're not wrong. Trust me, you're not.
no,
This is
I'm not mad at you at all, bro. I'm not mad at you at all. All I'm saying is that I I see where you're coming from. I really do. All I'm saying is that we still need a number one corner.
that's fair.
We need a
That's
number
100%
corner,
fair.
and I
That's
understand
100% fair.
while we're very happy about what Demo has done for us. Demo is not a number one corner.
I'll give you that.
We'll say
I'll give
that.
you that. All
All
right,
right,
coach. You
bro.
have a good one,
I'm gonna
man.
holla at you. Thank you,
All
man.
right.
Holla at you, bro. Yo,
What up, man?
what's good? What's
What's
good?
happening?
Finally,
That's
what's
right.
good? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm over here. We're still working on a Saturday, watching the
Mm-hmm.
baby
Mm-hmm.
girl, you
Yeah.
know. But I had to call in because you, my dog.
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, but I got to push back on you today, baby.
Let's
Okay.
go.
First of all, and then what up to everyone in the chat? Seriously,
Yeah,
what
man.
up?
What's up, chat?
You know what I'm
Gambit is in
saying?
here doing this thing. Dank Dank Fassy, Mark the Tile.
Yes,
Man,
yes.
we in here, man.
I
Cosmo is
see we
always
got
giving me
J
love.
Dog
Scott Lacrosse
Boston.
Jr. Like, yo,
Dank,
like the
dank.
chat, they doing their thing, man. The chat is
That's
always
right.
doing their thing, man.
That's
Rock
right.
with the chat, man. Rock with the
Now,
chat, man. We rock
exactly,
with the chat,
exactly.
man. Rock
All
with the
right,
chat,
bro.
bro.
Now you talking.
We rock with y'all,
Yes.
bro.
All right. Now let me start with this. You first talked about Kyle Levy, and yes,
Right.
he is the biggest problem. But I'm gonna save that to last because I just want to mention you talked about it.
Okay.
As it relates to the defense. I'm gonna say this straight up. My biggest problem is Bosa. Bosa gets paid a
Okay.
ton of money and does not take over games. Last year, at least. And you know, we got to the Super Bowl, we saw Chris Jones just dominating our line, our O line, but we didn't see Bosa dominate their O line. Bro, how many sacks did Bosa have in that last game?
None.
Exactly, zero. All right, now tell me, how many sacks have Bosa had in both of the Super Bowl games?
That's
Uno.
a hell of a question.
No, just one.
No, none.
No, no, one. He had one in the first Super Bowl.
He did. He got,
So
but yo, all right. So
what?
I'm not gonna be in here defending Nick Bosa, right?
What?
Because but the facts are the facts, though. In that
But
first Super Bowl,
facts are the
man.
facts, exactly.
All
So
right,
so
but yeah,
let
but
me cook a little
context
bit more.
matters, though. Context
Oh,
matters.
but bro, how many?
And
All
in
right,
that Super Bowl, Nick Bosa, yo, he was getting held left and right, bruh. Like
the first one.
that's facts, bro. You got
Okay,
to
but
count that too. That
okay, but
matters.
look, but I hate complaining about refs. I hate complaining about non-calls because there was a shit ton that could have been called against us, especially in that first Super Bowl too. But my point is, Chris Jones made it a point to get to Brock. You know, and that defensive front gave a lot of issues. How come ours
Right.
couldn't? Now, people want to blame Wilks, but here's why I
Mm-hmm.
don't blame Wilks. Brad Bosa, and I have like a couple of his jerseys I've shown on camera before, so I like his
Right.
play. But bro, you getting paid all that money. You've been in the league for several years now. You mean to tell me you haven't figured out our Achilles on defense is a mobile quarterback? You haven't figured out to stay home and watch that? Watch Mahomes? You haven't figured that out? So you're going to blame Wilks? Come on, bro. No, you have a problem. And my biggest problem is he can't, sometimes he's blocked by just one tackle and a backup tackle at that in the last Super Bowl. So, I mean, I just don't get it, man. How, and trust me, I like Bosa. But my thing is, I don't like the fact that he kind of runs the whole defense. Is what he says. Yeah, and some people are saying, Cosmo, what's up, dog? Yeah, the defense was good. That's why I'm saving Kyle Levy to the end. But I just, for me, to hear people constantly, a lot of people rip on the defense and point the finger to the defense, just like Bosa was pointing the finger at Wilks. I got a problem with that, especially when you make 34 million on average. All right. Now, next thing.
This is a funny ass comment
I see
because
it. Yeah, that's why
I
I'm
don't
laughing
even
at
know. Like, this is what's wild. I've never talked to Josh. Forgive me if I have, but I read this in his voice, and I don't even like talk about imposter syndrome.
it. What kind of imposter syndrome is he talking
Talk
about?
about imposter syndrome. Made me laugh. Go ahead, though. That's
Joshua
funny.
Edwards coming in hard.
Yo, Josh wasn't playing.
But no, but seriously, man, I got a problem with that. Because
Hmm.
especially now that people are talking about BA, and I know you don't agree necessarily with BA getting paid his cheddar. But
In
if you
this
look at
context, though, in this context, dude, like
it
just
is context. I know, but and that's my
yeah,
whole point. Just let's talk about BA. Look at the context.
right,
The market is the market. I don't give a damn how he's used in our offense, how he's used by Kyle Levy. That's not his
right.
fault. You know, he's playing a very physical sport. I'm moving on to BA. Very physical sport.
Hmm.
Whereby as a receiver, bro, he has to read the defense too. He
Uh huh.
also has to do what? Run these routes. He also has to get open.
Right.
Okay. And he can get creamed, not like Bosa, not like even the quarterback. Yeah, quarterbacks can get hit, but there's protection for quarterbacks now. So,
Hmm.
and BA is always in shape. So it's not his fault that the market value is 30 million a year. But why should he take less? That's the thing. Just to be a good teammate, good
No. Okay.
good for
All
the
right.
team, so
Okay.
the
All right. And
team.
I'll tell you why.
But let me
That's
just
a
say this
great
part.
question.
Do
All right.
we
Go ahead.
expect Bosa to do that? He hasn't been that productive, in my
Hmm.
opinion, last couple of years. Do we well, yes, he won defensive player of the year, but last year, not much. Do we go to him and say, hey, reduce your contract? Do we go to Debo and say, hey man, you sucked in the Super Bowl, reduce your contract? Do we do any of that? Or why do we do it to BA? Anyway, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right. So one, we're not asking BA to take a pay cut. So that's different. And the Niners do ask players to take pay cuts. That's why Eric Armstead isn't here. So they do it.
The
Okay.
Niners do what? Sorry, I couldn't hear you
The
low.
the Niners do ask players to take pay cuts. So they do it. It happens. Okay. So that's one. Two, BA, there's a difference between what you think you deserve to get paid and what you can prove you deserve to get paid. Right. And the numbers don't constitute BA getting paid $30 million a year. They just don't. He's not, it's not the fact that he's not as good as what $30 million a year would signify. It's the fact that he's never going to get a chance. There's not enough meat on the bone. He's not going to get enough reps for us to be able to say that we got a receiver that makes $30 million a year and everybody in the building knows he's getting the ball. That's what $30 million a year signifies, Brother Bob. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So
So,
let me jump in on go ahead.
okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I'm sorry. You know, I'm just trying to cook over
No,
here,
no,
baby. You
go,
know,
go, go,
I'm about to grill on the grill, baby. No,
go
but
ahead.
here's my point. First of all, we're paying Debo 26 million a year. So
Right.
is he overrated or overpaid? Number
Yes.
two, okay, all right, but that doesn't mean you don't make the investment in a player that is worth it. Number two, yeah, BA doesn't get the reps. but he will be getting the reps, or at least should be getting the reps, because in my opinion, I would be moving on from Debo unless he had another phenomenal year. Because if you can't beat man press, that's what you're going to play deep in the playoffs and the Super Bowl. So yeah, that's a big concern for me. And you also mentioned pay cut. Yeah, who do we have to take a pay cut though? Not players in their prime. We asked Juice to take a pay cut in his 30s. We asked Armstead to take a pay cut. Name me one, prime player, especially if I to get his second contract, so his real first big contract, have we asked to take a
Mm-hmm.
pay cut? I can't think of any.
No,
So
but
I mean,
that's the
unless they're
thing though,
not
Bob.
proven.
Like, all right, so I understand that. I get the fact that we don't ask guys coming into their second year to take a pay cut, but this is not a pay cut. This is a contract negotiation. As
Right.
it stands right now, BA is making $14 million a year. So where the Niners are is they're willing to go 12 million. They're willing to up the ante 12 million per. So that's not a pay cut. I feel like they just not meeting him where he wants to be met at. Like he's at 30, but this is my thing. If BA's at 30, was he at 34? Was he at 32? Right? Because he had to be there. You know why? Because if BA is at 30, then that means that you didn't come off anything. You just been staying at 30. And
Well,
that ain't
well,
negotiating. That's not negotiations, bruh.
well, hold on, bruh. All right. So I do negotiations quite a lot, and I
Okay,
can
let's do
tell
it.
you.
Educate
All
me.
right,
I'm
there.
here to
So
be
so here's my
educated.
point. No, it's all good.
Uh-huh.
Well, first, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So first of all, we're speculating at what number he's been on or what number he asked for. So what I would have done if I was BA, his agent, okay, is I would have asked for a number in the top 5%, and I probably would have focused on the guaranteed money first and foremost. We as fans, we focus on the average per year. And I think that we should be focusing on what he's probably focusing on, which is guaranteed money. But again, we're speculating. But
Okay.
my point is, without knowing the numbers, here's what I'm going to go at. I would ask the Niners, hey, you got to make me one of the top 5 receivers based upon look at the other receivers, what they're getting. And the problem is, I think, is that they let that. Thank you, fact. And we're going to talk about that.
I'm
You
putting all
can't.
of them up. I'm not just putting up
Oh,
my
I know. I've seen a couple, bro. I've seen a
I know
couple.
you was over here like, I know he is not trying to build the narrative under my right under my screen.
No, the prior one was good too, but I can't address them all and talk to you. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm
Anyway,
just throwing them up, man.
I know I
Just
appreciate it.
engagement. I'm reading their chats too.
Yeah, but I got to engage because that's one of my points. The market. And I
Right.
kind of said it before, and I'm saying it now. So I would
Mm-hmm.
negotiate that way, bro, by saying where do I fit in? And I think looking at the top 5, Waddle just got a contract extension, 28 million. Amon St. Brown got one, 30 million. So as the market changed, of course Brandon should ask for what the market would pay him. And that's my point, right? So why should he take a discount? You can't go against the market. That doesn't help you, your agent, or other players, you know? And besides, I wouldn't give a shit about Debo. This is a business, right? This is generational wealth. Did Debo give a shit about me or anyone else when he was doing his contract? By the way, he was acting worse than Aiyuk. He unfriended the Niners. And what else did he do? He also, asked for trade. BA didn't do that. Okay, my man Clarence, let me just say this. Every player is replaceable. Every
Mm-hmm.
single player is replaceable. The problem is, do you trust Kyle Levy to get the right player to replace him? That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about. Do you trust him? Has he been great with receivers other than BA? All right.
yeah.
And yes, there's Debo, but really Debo's not used like a normal wide receiver. And here's another thing, bro. I'm sorry. I got to get this out because I just,
You got the
as
floor,
a
bro.
fan of this game for over 40 years, yes, thank you, Jerome Smith. Thank you, sir.
This
Salute
this
to
is a
that.
point that I want to make because look, it all plays. It's not just when I say that Brandon Ayuk is not worth the 30 million that he's asking for. It's not all on BA. Okay. The Niners could have closed this door at the end of the season. The Niners could have closed this door before the draft. The Niners could have closed this door right after the draft. They could have. And really, what it is that the Niners heard what the overtures were from BA and they started shopping. And they were too busy trying to move on from them to realize that the other teams that they were looking for were too busy trying to sign their guys. It was quite foolish for them to wait on such a wide receiver rich free agency this year. So I will agree with this. They signed him a little late, but at the same time, you've got to realize that this is kind of what the Niners' MO is. They sign guys late. It's what they do.
So that's my thing, my brother. Okay, that's exactly my point. It all boils down to Kyle Levy. You see, because he's really the GM, head coach, offensive coordinator, and if you ask me, he's also the defense coordinator. What
Right.
I would call it the de facto defense coordinator, because he pretty much calls the shots, listening in every room. But the reason why I call him a GM, and Kyle clearly outweighs Parag, because we saw it with Debo, we saw it with Trent Williams. When Kyle wants to get something done, he gets it done. The contract, and Kittle and Warner. But my problem is this is their philosophy that they're always behind the times on. Okay. Oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
good. I like the Jim Everett thinks you legit. I think you're
It's my
legit
guy,
too,
bro. I love this
right?
guy.
I know you legit. By the way,
My
I
guy,
just got
bro.
to tell you, sorry, chat, that peppermint is on fire.
Oh, that
That
Dr.
peppermint
Bronner's?
dog. Ooh,
I told you it's lit, dog. I told you it's
man.
fire.
Hey, chat, and then the rest of the YouTube. Coach put me on game about this soap. Man, it looked like water, all different kind of scents, but the peppermint, fire, literally fire.
Look
But
it
that's
up,
my
guys. It's
point, bro.
Castile soap. Castile
That's
soap by
right.
Dr.
Bronner's
Bronner's. You
actually.
guys will like it. It's good.
Yeah. We just did a skit, a little advertisement for them. But anyway, bro, that's my concern. He has
Mm-hmm.
too much power, Kyle Levy, when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
being the GM, the head coach, and the offensive coordinator. It's the same thing you said before, is that his issue in the Super Bowl, why did you not know that new rule? How did you not know it? Because you weren't prepared. Because you just maybe have too much on your plate. But I think that's what's going to hold us back. That's why I call him Kyle Levy. I mean, he's good, but not good enough. And there's enough
Mm-hmm.
evidence out there to prove it. But yeah, for me, I resign BA. I sit up there. I get ready to get rid of. Uh, it does look like water, Joshua. I swear, man.
Talk about look
I
like
would
water.
probably get ready.
Yo, Josh crazy. Josh funny. He keeping the inside joke going. Yo, Josh
Okay,
funny.
good. But here's the thing, though, man. How is our offense going to look
Mm-hmm.
without BA? Be real about it
Uh, well, well, one thing
this
about
year.
it is that okay. Well, I don't think it's that deep. I think he's gonna play this year.
You think
So
it's? I'm sorry. What?
I don't think it's that deep. I think he's gonna play this year. I think he's gonna
Okay.
play. Right. So for me, um, if we do move on, if we do move on, from BA, my biggest thing is that we got to get a player. I'm not really interested in picks. Picks, anything can happen with a pick, right? He could be some, he couldn't be anything. Like, this isn't
He could be Trey
exact
Lance. He could
science.
be C.J. Beathard. He could be
Come on, man. He
Sermon,
could be
Trey Sermon,
TDP, he could be Trey
TDP.
Sermon, so I'm not really interested in picks. What I need is I need uh a requisite player that's a true receiver that can run the entire route tree, that can get open against any corner in the NFL. Because that's the skill set. I understand we lose the blocking, we lose all of the leadership, and that's like the equity side of it. That's all of the development. I get that, and that sucks. And we'll be lucky to find a receiver that can block like BA, that has the initiative like BA, that's going to push and have the attitude and the approach to the game like BA. But I'm going to tell you one thing, schematically, they better make sure that they get BA skill set back in this building from a receiver standpoint. Because
That's what I mean.
a true receiver, if we don't get a true receiver, and if we do move on from BA, this offense is gonna be a pop gun offense, man.
And that's what I mean. Because other things we haven't said yet. Look how in sync BA is with Brock.
Yeah.
Okay, look how in sync he is.
Mm-hmm.
Also, look how he had the most receptions and yards by far.
Mm-hmm.
So my concern, bro, is maybe he'll play on the 5th-year option. He'll make
Right.
14 mil. Great, good for him. But if he's gone, the future of this team does not look good. I just don't see it. So anyway, I know you probably got other callers. I don't want to hog
Yeah.
up all
Hey,
the
Twin, you
time
ready
on
for me?
here. Yeah, but hey, bro, good. I got you,
We
man.
gonna
I
rap. Hey,
got
bro, love you, man. Keep
you.
calling in. You know you my dog. You know what I'm
Same
saying?
here. Same here,
And
bro.
hey, we gonna be all right, bro. Holla
All
at you,
right
bro.
then, man. I'll holler at you. Late.
All right, bro. Twin, twin, you ready for me? Unmute yourself, bro. Can't hear you. You gotta unmute yourself, bro. There you go. You unmuted. Twin, you're not talking, bro. Turn your phone up. Turn your mic up. Oh no, I would not like this. I wouldn't take Amari Cooper for BA. Twin, I want you to get your yeah, come back with me, twin. So what I will say, man, is I want I wouldn't do Amari Cooper for BA. That wouldn't be a good swap, man. I'm not too fond of that. My man right here, Mike Larry, sup coach, glad to finally catch your show live. Continue to do your thing. Thank you, bro. Um Right here, my man Kyle McKiernan. Hey, coach, this morning's stream was for no good. The power went out, and I was catching the last 15 minutes, so I didn't. So it didn't upload. No, so okay, so let me explain what happened on Larry's channel. So me and Larry did a show. Me and Larry did a show today, at our regular time slot, and midway through the, I want to say a little past the show. The show was about, I want to say like a little over an hour. We were into the show, and Larry had a power outage. And what happened was is that all of his power shut down, but the actual stream stayed up. So I was still left up on his stage that he put me on. So by the time he left, he was gone, but I was there almost kind of like, imagine being in somebody's house as a guest and then they just leave and you don't have the key to lock the door. All you can do is just walk out and walk back in. You can't lock the door, you can't do anything. So basically what happened was is that in order for Larry to get back, he had to go in through his phone and kill the stream on his phone because he couldn't go in there locally. So that's what had to happen. Like the entire stream had to get erased for Larry to shut it down, or that stream would have still been up today. It still will be up, just open. It would just be a black screen, and YouTube would think that Larry had like a like a 10-hour show. But hey, twin, you ready for me? All right, bro. Look, I'm gonna add you to the scene, my man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you up in here because you my dog. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I got you. I got you. So look, I got my man 20 here. What's good, twin?
What's cracking, man? Can you hear me?
I got you. I can hear you.
Awesome, awesome, man. Hey, just to make a little joke, good Saturday. Hopefully having a good Saturday, to everybody in the chat. But
Always, always.
hey, you talk about that peppermint, you know what I'm saying? Look, people don't understand. You take a shot with that peppermint, that's about next thing to that hot tour, you know what I'm saying? Boy, you be in that mop. Hey,
Hey, you know about that Dr. Bronner's
see?
dog. Hey,
Hey,
that that joint be having you like,
woo! Hey, having that mother like, look, out there hitting that on that Maxwell note.
oh my God. Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, dog. That peppermint joint be having you coming out that joint feeling good, real good. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know you knew about the Bronner's, bro. Hey, it be
Hey, I'm from
hitting.
the South, man. I'm from Mississippi, man. I know all about that
Oh,
Brown.
so the Castile soap is what y'all do.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, look, when you said it, I said, oh yeah, my brother, he know that feeling, boy. The tingly boys. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying? You
it's
be
gonna get you, man. Hey, also, yeah, my people's is from down in Cac. So my people's is from Lumberton and Aden.
okay then. All right,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
So
little bit
that's my
okay.
people's is from.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm enjoying y'all conversation, man. Look,
Thank you, bro.
man, it's been you know how it is that them dog days of the all season, man, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
enjoying, the different perspectives of all of us as fans sitting back watching our team, hoping that
Right.
we make take that next level, man, because we've been right there knocking on that door for a long time, and in order to be champions, it's the diamonds and the details that eventually will give you the opportunity to prevail against other teams just as great
Mm-hmm.
as you are. So, man, these are the nuances that take you from being good to great and then from great to being champions. And I know sometimes we don't like to talk about some of this stuff, but that's what makes the greats greats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the last 10%, man. You know what I mean? It's like you think that you know, um, it's something that we had talked about before, man. It's like the Dunning-Kruger effect. And basically what the Dunning-Kruger effect is when you have a false sense of confidence about a subject matter because you learn too much about it too fast. So what basically happens is it's like a bell curve effect, and when you learn enough about a subject matter, what happens is that you feel like you gain confidence because you feel like you know enough to be right. But what you don't realize is that you haven't learned enough to know when you're wrong. And
Mm-hmm.
there becomes a downslope from all of this enlightenment of the subject matter that you have versus you being finding out that you don't know the shit that you thought you knew along the way. And
Uh-huh.
the beautiful thing about it is that there's a bell curve that swings upward where you gain consciousness of both experiences. So you have the consciousness of knowing everything about what your subject matter is and then understanding everything horrible or bad or wrong that can go against why you know what you understand what this subject matter is. And then what you do is you marry the two together and it makes you an expert, right?
Hey, man.
And the
Hey.
Niners have not married both of their experiences together so they can get over this hump. And because of it, one of the telltale signs of somebody who is in the Dunning-Kruger effect is false humility. They're
Mm-hmm.
hard to admit when they're wrong. It's
Yeah.
hard to admit when they don't know something. And they're very much stuck to process, right? They're only gonna go the way they want to go. But if you ask them, it's like if you know the alphabet, you know the alphabet if somebody stops you in the middle of the alphabet, they stop you at the end of the alphabet, they tell you to say it backward, you know what the letters are. The problem is that the Niners and their coach have not gotten to that point where they've taken everything they know and they've also respected everything they don't know to the same ability and put
Yeah.
it together. And that's what we're watching.
Hey,
That's
I
really
know
what we're watching.
a good quote that I learned years ago was, even if a man knows half of everything that was ever created and taught on this earth, he still knows half of nothing.
Mm,
You
yeah,
see what I'm saying? And see,
yeah.
with that right there would tell you enough. Like, wow, I have immersed a lot of knowledge and possibly some wisdom along the way, but there's still, like you just said earlier about that, there's still so much I have yet to learn and experience as well. And there comes a part where you become so hardened that you have to be broken again,
Mm-hmm.
and that brokenness becomes your humility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have to humble yourself and to be able to be remolded and to be willing to receive some of that new information and say, okay, there is a way that this could be used. Not saying that my process didn't work, but again, like you said, over time, if this thing hasn't necessarily came out on top just yet, I gotta go look in that mirror because I know I've done a lot of things consistently and very well, but there's some chatter in the background that I hear some people talk about that I say I could implement, but I have yet to think about doing it. You know what I mean? And maybe I do gotta sit there and say, you know what? Let me
Mm-hmm.
take this in, and I think Tom Brady, man, this interview earlier, he gave a wonderful a perspective, but also the difference in the times that we're living in when it comes to just quarterbacking and just overall coaching and players and what it is that they know and what they can handle, the capacity in which they can do these things not only on the fly but know situationally when you have to do these things. And so I think every 49er football fan at this moment in time should be getting smarter and having more of a broader approach to the game that we love, because we are going through that time and situation where we've been very good and we should be learning the nuances on, man, what do we think we actually can do to get over this hump. So I love the conversations where we do have those different pros and cons that we come together and we have these conversations, you know.
Yeah. Hey man, look, I just I love the fact that really what this does is that this just puts us in front of each other, right? We know what's gonna happen. We know the season's gonna come. We're gonna argue like cats and dogs. We're all gonna rally together against the teams we want to beat, right? And we're going to hold everybody to the letter of the law because this year is supposed to be a Super Bowl year because our window's not closed. So we know that. My biggest thing that I love is these conversations right here. Like being able to reach out, touch and agree, being able to talk to the supporters, talk to the chat, so we can have a real conversation. So there's no, I don't like it when there's a delta between how I feel about what I want to say on here and the responsibility of the people that are going to hear what I have to say. So I love these platforms like these shows because I want somebody to be able to say, "Hey, I remember what you said on this. This is how I feel about blah blah blah." You know what I'm saying? Or I feel
Uh-huh.
like, I've heard you talk about this on this show. This is how I feel about this, that, and the third. And I just wanted to be an open discourse where people can come on and feel comfortable, man. So I'm
Yeah.
glad you came onto the
Hey,
platform.
it,
We got to get a show going, bro. This has been a long time coming, bro. We
hey,
got to get up there.
for sure, man. And again, one thing about these recordings, right? And you said this earlier, you can hear yourself say something and be incorrect. You're like, okay, well, and guess what? In life, that's the beauty of it. It's all right. You know, sometimes people get so gun ho and standing on their opinion that they don't necessarily want to shift when it may have been proven wrong. You know what I mean? And that's
Hmm.
okay. You know, that's the beauty about sports, is because you're gonna fail so many different times, but you learning so much, so many counters. You know what I mean? Just
Hmm.
like the boxing match you just saw, like you learn so many different things about yourself, the ability to get back up, and like you say, you probably going to go back, you're going to grind more tape, you're going to look at some more offensive line, you're going to look at some more, like you're
You
looking and
inspiring me,
learning.
bro.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
getting
Like, dude,
inspired, bro. I'm getting, yo,
you know what I'm
hold
saying?
up. Hey, hold up. I'm getting inspired. I'm about to be twin. Can I be twin? We getting inspired. We
Hey,
inspired, dog. I'm feeling good, dog.
hey, dressed
I'm
in all
feeling
black,
good,
baby,
yo.
let's go.
You got me
But
ready to go, dog.
hey, but that's the truth, you know what I'm saying? Like you learning, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I love boxing too. You like you learn that, okay, maybe I don't keep my headphones up until 8 rounds, start dropping my guard down. I don't have that
Yeah.
endurance. I don't have the capability to keep my foot speed going. And we learned that about our team during the playoffs when we meet our equal level of athleticism and also individuals that have the smarts that we have. We
Right.
began to kind of look regular, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, good Lord, hold on now. Like, we were strong against some of these other teams, but you have a very witty coach who know how to put players in great positions to win against us. Now we got to say, God, dog it, how can we adjust now? How can we adjust on the fly? You know what I mean? Like, we
Yeah.
have to be adaptable and understand that, like, man, listen here, you talk about money, right? How we paid George Kittle a lot of money several years ago. That man, every time we look at the Super Bowl, they play that one replay where look at George Kittle looking, the confetti fall in 2019. He's like, I'm going to get back here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just by them playing that recording over and over again as a head coach like Kyle, he got to say, you know what? I got to make sure my boy eat. Cause that man been rolling with me since I got here. You know what? He got at least touch this thing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I can't let the other individual from tight end you look like God dog on Kellen Winslow and Antonio Gates had a baby out here. Like, hold on, wait a minute. I can't do that. I gotta let my boy get some of this pig skin. You see what I'm saying?
You
Like,
gotta let him go.
you gotta let him go, man. And that's the thing that I think like Kyle's gonna learn how to say, hey, Brock, I trust you, man. I need you to, hey, go cook. This time I'll let my hand off the controllers a little bit. I'm gonna let you fly manually. I know we live in a generation where everything with cars, it's automatic. But guess what, my boy? Here you go. You know what I'm saying? You got this stick shift right in there. Go out there and cook.
All
I
day.
believe you. You got the process. Go out there and show them what you can do on the fly. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. So look, I'm looking at this comment right here, the standard. Look, nobody gets participation trophies in the league, man. I admit that we got first world problems. You know what I'm saying? We got first world problems, right? And I'm gonna tell you, complaining or trying to win the Super Bowl when we consistently are in the show or literally one game out of it, for certain fans, that could look a little, irritating, right? It's like,
Yeah,
you're the lady who's crying for bread with a ham under her arm. It's like, come on, man. Like, how much more do you need? But for what it's worth, we still haven't finished the deal. We still ain't closed out business.
for sure.
So, I mean, different strokes for different folks, man. Going to
Hey,
the playoffs doesn't move us.
and Kyle McKenzie, and I'm gonna tell you one thing about your comment. Like, the reason why the gold standard is the standard and why the 49er faithful sold over a record breaking amount of jersey sales in that Super Bowl window. It's because the standard that was created in the 80s and the winning that they had, and not just the NFC Championship games, but it was the Joe Montana getting the monkey off his back. It was the back-to-back Super Bowl, in the late 80s. It was the one and only Joe Montana fulfilling the drive, beating the Cowboys, and going on and winning the Super Bowl, which created and galvanized that the football family, where now you can go out here and you pay for these tickets in this crazy market of inflation. See, that standard creates us to go out there and creates currency as well. And so we'll be
Mm-hmm.
lying to ourselves to not sit here and believe that standard will be okay with second places in bronze. It's like, no, man, those guys are immortalized because of what? They won the ring. You know what I'm
They went and
saying?
got it done. They handle
They got it
business.
done. And we can't look
Yeah.
at since 2010, we have the most wins in any of those teams in the last 15 years to not win the Super Bowl. We have the
Yeah.
most wins, you know what I mean, in the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs that have not finished the game. So whether it's the Ravens, the Giants, the Kansas City, the Philadelphia, the Rams, like all these teams, we probably got more wins than most of them.
All day, man. Hey,
Yes,
but
sir.
look,
But
hey, man, this is a good one. We gotta link up, bruh. Hit me on my DMs. I know we talked in our DMs. Hit me up. We gotta get a show together, man. I
for
love
sure,
Twin. Love your energy, bro. You showed me love since, man, day one of one. You know what I'm saying? So,
for sure,
you
man.
my guy, bruh. Anything, man? Anything you got for us on the way out, bruh?
Hey man, at the end of the day, man, gratitude, guys. You know what I'm saying? Look, continue to do something for yourself every now and again, man. I know most of us may be men out there, and I'm a father, right? I got 4 kids, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes,
Happy belated Father's Day, man.
oh, for sure, man. So I just like to tell people, man, hey, look, give yourself a pat on the back, man. That's all I'm telling you, man. Give yourselves a pat on the back, man. And when you see another man, that may be out there doing something hard out there, hey, give him a pat on the back. Say, hey, man, I see you out there. Keep doing it, keep grinding, and I see you out there shining. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying?
My man, my man. Hey, Chris, we gonna get you up here, bruh. Love you, bruh. Holla at you, Brody.
Peace. Have a good
All
one.
right, bruh. Get at me. Yo, what's good, brother? My man got camera shy. It's cool, bro. It's cool. It happens to the best of us. Chris, I'm gonna hold on for you for a couple of more seconds. You there, Chris? Chris, Chris, you good, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Coach?
What's going on, Chris? How you doing, bro?
Oh, can you hear me? Oh man,
Yeah, I got you. You locked in? I don't see you moving around on your camera, bro.
oh, shit.
Now, hold on. We gonna move. We gonna take Chris down. We gonna take Chris down for a little bit. Hey, but we good, bro. We good, man. Take your time, man. I'm gonna throw Roscoe's up. I'm remove Roscoe's from the scene. You good, Chris? Get to you, bro. But hey, man, guys, this was a good one. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. We got time on Wednesdays. Me and Marco Martinez are gonna start kicking off shows on Tuesdays, man. Uh, I just want to take the time out right now just to thank everybody for the support. And you know, everything that we got going on with the Niners, we're gonna make it through this dead period, y'all. We're gonna make it through, man. I just want to thank y'all for everything that you've done, man. This is your boy, this is the coach. Stay low and keep your feet moving.